The hallway at Rosedale High buzzed with energy. Lockers slammed shut, students laughed, and sneakers squeaked against the polished floor. Amid the chaos, Amara Kane walked alone, her hands tucked into her hoodie pockets, her natural curls framing her calm face. She didn't seek attention. In fact, she avoided it. But today, attention found her. "Move it, charcoal." The voice cut through the noise like a sharp knife. Darren Colt stood a few steps away, his tone as bold as his towering frame. Tall, with blonde hair and a Letterman jacket half-zipped, Darren wasn't just a student. He was a presence. He thrived on dominance, his smirk a warning that he wasn't to be ignored. Behind him loomed his crew, Bo, Tucker, and Jace, his loyal entourage who laughed on command and followed his lead like shadows. Amara stopped in her tracks, her expression unchanged. She turned her head slowly and met Darren's eyes. "Did you hear me?" Darren stepped closer, his voice louder now. "I said move, charcoal. You don't belong here. This is the athlete wing." The group snickered. "She's probably too dumb to understand English." Bo chimed in, igniting another wave of laughter. But Amara didn't laugh. She didn't move. Her gaze held steady, unwavering, piercing through Darren like a silent challenge. The air shifted slightly, the laughter of the crowd fading into uneasy murmurs. Darren wasn't used to this. Most people crumbled under his intimidation. But Amara? She just stood there, calm, silent, and it was infuriating. "What's the matter?" Darren sneered, closing the gap between them. "Cat got your tongue? Or are you too scared to speak up?" Amara finally spoke, her voice low but steady. "You don't want to do this." The hallway grew quieter. "Oh, really?" Darren mocked, his smirk faltering for the briefest moment. "And why not?" "Because," she said, her tone sharp and deliberate, "you'll regret it." For a fleeting second, her lips curved into what looked like the beginning of a smile. The crew behind Darren erupted in jeers. "Regret what?" Jace shouted, egging Darren on. "She thinks she's scary." Darren, feeding off their energy, shoved Amara hard. And that's when everything changed. The silence that followed wasn't just the absence of noise. It was a vacuum. Every pair of eyes in the hallway locked on Amara and Darren. No one could have expected what was about to happen next. The night before, the video spread like wildfire. Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, it was everywhere. The caption read, "White boy tries to bully black girl. She's MMA trained." By sunrise, it had racked up over 300,000 views. At school the next morning, Amara Kane was the name on everyone's lips. Some called her MMA queen, others the shadow. But for Darren Colt, she was the name that haunted him. Every chuckle in the hallway, every side glance, felt like a dagger to his pride. At home, it was even worse. His father's words echoed in his head. "You let a girl do that to you? In public." Darren's humiliation burned deep, and by the time he walked into third period, his mind was set on one thing, payback. "Here's the plan," Darren hissed, huddled with Bo, Tucker, and Jace. "We wait until after school. She goes to that old portable at the back of campus. No cameras, no crowd, just us and her." Bo raised an eyebrow. "You sure about this? She flipped you like a rag doll, man." "Shut up," Darren snapped. "We're taking our school back." The group nodded reluctantly, but unease lingered in the air. 3:42 p.m. The final bell rang. Students scattered, buses rumbled to life, and the campus quieted. Amara walked toward the old portable classroom, her backpack slung over one shoulder. She felt the tension in the air but didn't look back. As she reached for her locker key, a voice broke the silence. "Round 2, baby girl." She turned slowly. Darren stood there, flanked by his crew, their faces hardened with intent. This time they wore gloves. This time they were ready, or so they thought. Darren smirked. "No cameras now. Let's see how tough you really are." Amara's expression didn't change. She dropped her backpack to the ground and calmly removed her hoodie. Beneath it, a sleek black compression shirt revealed bold white letters, Kane Combat School. Bo squinted, Wait, Kane, like Kane Combat in East Ridge? That's the MMA gym that trains pros. Jace's eyes widened, but Darren waved it off. She's bluffing, he growled. Amara took a deep breath, her movements slow, deliberate. She raised her hands, her stance solid, and locked eyes with Darren. The boys charged. The first swing came wild and uncoordinated. But before contact, Amara stepped in. What happened next wasn't just a fight, it was a reckoning. But the most shocking moment wasn't Amara's moves or Darren's fall. It was what happened after. Stay tuned for the final twist in this unforgettable story. The sound of Principal Adams' voice cut through the tension like a knife. "Enough," she said firmly, stepping into view. She'd seen it all. By evening, the principal's office was a study in contrasts. Darren sat slouched, his bruised ego evident, while his crew shifted uncomfortably in their seats. Amara sat calm and composed, her expression unreadable. Principal Adams' tone was sharp. "You four have crossed the line. Suspension starts today. Now go home and think about what kind of people you want to be." After the boys left, Adams turned to Amara. Her expression softened. "You've got a calm way of handling chaos, Amara." Amara nodded thoughtfully. "My dad says control is strength, and strength is quiet." Principal Adams leaned back in her chair. "Your dad's a wise man. Speaking of Kane Combat, are you related to Reuben Kane?" "Yes, ma'am," Amara replied with a small smile. "He's my father," Adams chuckled, shaking her head in disbelief. "Reuben Kane, the trainer of UFC champions. Why didn't you mention that before?" Amara gazed out the window, her voice barely above a whisper. "Because I didn't come here to fight. I came here to learn." The sun cast a golden glow over Rosedale High, but something else had changed. The school buzzed with an unfamiliar energy, respect. As Amara walked the halls, there were no taunts, no mocking whispers, only nods of admiration and quiet smiles. Even Darren Colt stayed out of sight. The once loud hallways were now filled with something more meaningful: silence and reflection. Later that day, Principal Adams addressed the student body. Her voice was steady, her words clear. "We talk a lot about strength at this school, but true strength isn't about fists or shouting the loudest. True strength is standing tall, even when the world tries to knock you down." Her gaze landed on Amara, and the room followed. Sometimes, it's the quiet ones who carry the greatest power. The gym erupted into applause, echoing through the rafters. Amara sat quietly, her face calm, yet her presence spoke volumes. The halls of Rosedale High would never be the same. Darren learned the hard way that karma doesn't miss, and Amara Kane wasn't just a fighter. She was a force. She didn't just win respect. She redefined what it meant to be strong. If the story moved you, hit that subscribe button for more unforgettable tales. Real stories, real lessons. You won't want to miss what comes next. See you guys next time.